got a question for you.
Listening?
Mr. Beast actually tweeted this a couple weeks ago. It's like a moral dilemma question. It got the internet roused, I would say.
Is this like a trolley problem?
A little bit. Basically, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So, hear me out. Everyone on Earth takes a private vote by pressing a red or blue button. If more than 50% of people press the blue button, everyone survives. If less than 50% of people press the blue button, only people who press the red button survive. Which button would you press?
So if more than 50% presses blue, everyone survives.
Basically, yeah.
Even the people that press red.
Yeah.
And then if less than 50% press blue, only the people that press red survive.
Yes.
So if red gets a higher majority than blue, blue dies. If blue gets a higher majority than red, everyone lives.
Yeah.
I go for blue.
Right?
Yeah.
That's
of course.
like, was it a no-brainer?
Yeah.
Okay, that was for me too. Like one of my best friends sent me this question, and immediately I was like, okay, it's blue.
Yeah.
But apparently, under the poll that Mr. Beast put on Twitter,
Yeah.
the stats were almost close actually.
Yeah.
44% people voted for red.
Mm-hmm.
I think 56% voted for blue.
Okay.
What do you think about that?
Well, I think the people that are participating in this are probably not participating in the true spirit of the question. You know,
Think so?
Yeah, totally. Because, for example, you know, the people that are voting red, are they thinking about their loved ones? Are they thinking about their parents? Are they thinking that their parents are going to vote blue while they're being dickheads and voting red? I don't think they're thinking that stuff.
You think it's just they're just trolling around?
Yeah.
Really?
And
You think
yeah,
so?
Yeah, but you know, I think even if this was like if like humanity was by some like higher power was presented this question out of the blue, I totally think a ton of people are voting red just because they're not totally processing, which I think is like this is actually in my opinion. I feel like the results of this are actually quite an accurate representation of my view on humanity, I guess, which is like a lot of people will be making this decision without actually understanding the decision that they're making.
Oh, I see. So what you're saying is that they're probably not fully aware of the consequences of pressing whatever button.
100%.
Red or blue.
100%.
Or is it just red, or do you think it's both red or blue?
Well, I think it's just red because,
just red. Okay.
You know, when you're voting blue, you're just like believing in humanity. You know, you don't want to.
That's what I thought.
Yeah, exactly. You don't. You're just not a bad person.
Yeah.
You know, you think people are good, and you know that's the end of that, and you care about human lives. But if you're voting red, I think some people are probably bad people. I think some people probably aren't bad people, but are like hurt people. I think the vast majority are just like not even thinking about this problem.
Really?
That they the way that they should be thinking about it. Yeah.
Because I was thinking about it, like, why would people press red? Like, of course, there's, you know, you want to survive. That's number one. It's guaranteed survival.
It's not though.
It is. It is.
No, because it. Oh wait, you're right. It is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You survive for sure, 100% if you press red.
Yeah. You're right.
Just that the caveat is that you don't know if your friends or family are gonna survive because maybe they press blue and it turns out it was less than 50%, so they die. So then I thought that that's one explanation. Another explanation is that maybe you have a pessimistic view of the world, of humanity. So you are anticipating that the population is not going to press blue, so it won't be majority. So in anticipation of that, you're just going to press red.
Bro, if you press red, you're a fucking asshole. Like, no joke. What the heck? Like, that is so inhumane. You just taking the action of pressing red, you're contributing to murder. You're contributing to, like, condemning all these people to die, you know?
You think so?
Yeah, I mean, you are.
Yeah.
It's not that I think so. That, like, we got to view that as a fact. If you vote red, you're... You know, maybe on the bright side, you're like hoping everyone else votes blue and you're like a coward, so you vote red to secure your own survival.
I'm just trying to see the other side of red because this is essentially like kind of the trolley question, right?
Yeah. Well, is it?
I guess, I mean, not really exactly, but the moral dilemma is there. You know
I guess
mean?
it's the trolley question if you're on the tracks. But even then, you're in the situation, you're not actually on the tracks. Like, you could just fucking vote blue and then everyone survives, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which was my thinking.
Yeah,
Until
I mean-
read the polls, I was like, oh, okay. Well,
No, but like, dude, there's no way there's like more bad people in the world than good people. It's just not even close.
so you think there's more good people than bad?
Yes,
I mean,
100%.
I agree. I agree with
Yeah,
you.
100%.
But by your argument, are you saying that there's 44% of people who are bad and 56 people?
No, I
percent are
think
good?
like a big percentage of that 44% are just being disingenuous. You know, they're just like
Oh, it's like an online poll, so you're just
exactly like, oh, let's fuck around and like say some stupid shit, you know. But I still think like if this was like, you know, by magic, if this was like a real situation presented to people,
Yeah.
out of the blue, like just like some anime or Sword Art Online bullshit where like some text appears like in front of you,
Yeah.
you know, and you got to make a choice right then and there within like 20 seconds. I think rational people,
Yeah.
like people that are not fucking children,
Yeah.
they'll probably be like, yeah, I'm
Oh,
gonna
I
vote
guess.
blue.
Yeah, I didn't even think about that because I guess. No, wait, no, that doesn't matter though because this question is provided to everyone.
Yeah.
It's not just adults. It's like
Oh yeah, but like when I say children, I mean like mentally, you know, when someone's like immature, when they're like
Oh.
fucking can't think. Yeah, when they're like, I don't know. I use like some kind of charged language about this kind of stuff kind of sometimes. Like I don't like I've said before, no, maybe not on the podcast, but like before people are like their brains are fully developed, they're like not fully human, you know. They're like they don't have their humanity totally. They don't really get things.
Yeah.
But I think once people are like mature enough, grown enough, they have their like humanity, they understand stuff. They wouldn't make a stupid decision like voting red. Once you get to a certain age, start worrying about other people. What are my friends voting? What are my not to like fit in, but like for this specific situation.
Yeah.
You know, you don't want your friends to get hurt. You don't want your family to get hurt.
Yeah.
So you ask yourself like, oh, what's my dad gonna vote on this? What's my mom gonna vote on this? What's my brother? What's my sister gonna vote on this? What's my
Yeah.
best friend gonna vote on this?
Yeah.
And the people that vote red, I feel like they're not really thinking about that.
Or do you think they might be also thinking, oh, I know my friends and family will also choose red, so I have to choose red.
That's just
I guess, but is that common? I don't know. But
there's no way it can be. That's just like such an immature way of thinking, I think.
yeah, it's so interesting because, like, once again, for me, I didn't even hesitate. It was like blue,
What did your friend say?
blue, 100%.
Oh, okay.
Like right away.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like most people our age are gonna just say blue. I think people that are younger that want to fuck around, like have a laugh, they might say red.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To like, yeah. I guess I didn't even think about that.
I mean, what percentage of the population is like below like 25? Do you know the global population?
The age?
Yeah.
Let me search it up.
Before you
now.
search it up, do you think it's like a lot?
No, actually,
Below 20, below
man.
25,
below 25.
25 to 0.
No, I don't think it's a lot.
You think it's less than
On globally average, I don't think it's a lot because
like 10%?
I would say, let me say maybe like 30%.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's more than I thought.
What's your guess?
I think I was gonna go closer to 10%, 25
Okay.
and under. I feel like
Yeah.
there's a lot of
And this
old
is
ass-
on average, like the entire world. Because like
Entire
some,
world,
some
yeah.
places, geriatric populations are far more greater.
Yeah.
But I feel like on average,
But there's like is there any place where like the young population is fucking booming?
I have no idea.
I don't think there is. I think
let me
across
do
the
a quick
world,
search.
I feel like I've been reading over the past like decade that everyone's sucking the population dick. You know, everyone's got population growth issues that they're supplementing with immigration.
Oh wow! It says around 40 to 42% of the world's population is younger than 25 years
No
old.
way.
Today.
That's kind of awesome. I think
Is
we
it-
got power, homies. Let's put it to good use. Vote red.
We're
I'm
not
just
under
kidding.
25 though.
Oh, you're right. Holy shit. Oh my god, I'm still in young adult mode.
So now the next question was which country?
We're in the old group.
Yeah, I was
We're over 25.
I
The
think
next-
many countries in Africa, they have the youngest population.
I guess that kind of makes sense in some ways.
Why do you think so?
I think just speaking from, you know, I'm not from Canada. I'm from Asia. And in most Asian countries, well, not just Asian countries, most undeveloped countries, which are in Asia and places like Africa, a lot of your livelihood comes from, you know, working hands in your family. Hands that can tend the field, like literally farm work and menial work, like, you know, family owns shops and you go work in them, or gas stations or farms, stuff like that. You know, much like it was common in the Western world 100 years ago, it is common in those underdeveloped. Is it wrong to say underdeveloped? How do you refer to these countries?
Developing countries.
Developing countries.
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry about that. Yeah, in these developing countries, I'm quite sure it's still quite common to have a bunch of kids so that they can contribute to the family.
From what I remember, like the fertility is higher. Women bear more children. It's in contrast to the Western countries, and even also in Asia, like specifically South Korea and Japan, where their population is literally decreasing.
Yeah.
Because people aren't having kids.
Yeah.
And the geriatric population is growing further and further. And and that in itself places a huge burden on the economy. Like people aren't having children at all.
Yeah. I mean, it's like totally understandable. I'm not someone that's looking at, I mean, I'm not even in a relationship right now, but still,
Yeah.
even if I was, I wouldn't be talking to my girlfriend or wife about having kids, to be honest.
I think it's especially understandable in countries like Korea and Japan because their work culture is so intense.
Yeah.
And they're just grinding so much, and so much of their time is occupied working and grinding.
Yeah.
That, you know, if you have children, you don't have time for yourself at all.
Yeah.
So, like, who would want to have children then?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
I agree completely. And so many parts of the world, in my opinion, there's a big moral gap that needs to be made, that has not yet been made in those countries. For example, the biggest thing, I think, is gender roles, where women are expected to pretty much give up everything to have kids, which is entirely wrong, completely wrong.
Yeah.
And things are starting to change, and these gender roles are being destroyed a little bit, which is great, but it does contribute to this problem, I think, of kids, where before women were giving up so much to take care of these children, and now they're not willing to, which is great, and I totally agree with that. But it makes the problem apparent of how do you raise kids with
Oh, I see what you mean.
two working parents that have to work. They don't have the luxury to take time off of work.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I mean, this is how it should be. A woman should not be expected to give up her career, her education, all the things she's worked so hard for to fucking take care of kids. That's just stupid. You know, it should be a joint responsibility.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think because of this shift happening where women are not the sole caregivers for children contributes to, you know, this lack of family building. But I mean, you know, fuck the fucking oligarchs that put us in this place. Like, fucking pay us more money, you piece of shits. You know, like, this is not a problem created by some natural causes or some shit. This is totally artificial. Yeah. If people didn't have to worry about their fucking lives and money and like paying bills, you know, like we would have kids everywhere.
Speaking of that, yeah, I think in Korea, actually, they are giving financial incentives for people to have children.
Yo, fuck you guys. How about you give some fucking financial incentives to the single people? Like, what's this double class bullshit, you know? Like, maybe if the single people had a little bit more money, they'd be more willing to go into relationships and find people and, you know, something like that, maybe. I feel like money is probably for people that are in a position to have kids, I think money is the one thing that stops them from doing so. You know, like if someone could make comfortable money taking less hours at work, you know, if that wouldn't destroy their lives, I'm sure people would be more than willing to take time off work to take care of their children, you know. But because that is
definitely
because that is like not a thing at all in our world. It really isn't. No matter where you go. I mean, I don't know about all of the world. There might be some havens in Europe that are like fucking awesome for having kids.
Yeah.
So I won't speak to that, but for places that I know of, you know, money is a big thing that has the grip on people to stop them from having kids.
Yeah.
It's so expensive and
very expensive.
Yeah, and that's something you can only make up. You know, the lack of money is something you can only make up with massive sacrifices, and you're gonna feel that lack of money eventually. You know, even once that. If someone decides to quit their job to stay home, take care of kids, sure, you can take care of those kids and survive on a single salary for a little while. But then what happens when the kid's grown up and you got to go back to work and then you can't fucking get work, you know, because you had to quit your job to take care of this not fucking kid, but this kid,
Yeah.
your kid. And yeah, it's unrealistic, it's unreasonable.
Yeah.
It's an unreasonable pressure that's being put on society. And yeah, if this barrier just wasn't there, there would be, do you think there would be any problems with birth rates worldwide? I feel like across the board, every single country, we'd have rising birth rates if this wealth disparity wasn't so obvious.
In places in Africa, the birth rates are still high.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, what do I say to that? I mean, I guess I would argue that's just like necessity, and once those developing countries catch up, they're going to be facing these same problems, And I mean, if we work backwards, say Canada reverts to 100, 200 years ago, where there aren't a bunch of businesses or, a ton of places to work, and work is mostly just farm work, menial jobs. I think if we go back to those times, we see, very similar people having a bunch of kids to help out on the farm and stuff like that. But, we're talking about these for example, this stuff in Africa where people are having a lot of kids. Do you know if those people are like getting government subsidies, if they're getting help for having these kids?
I have no idea. I don't think...
So that might be the case. They might be getting a lot of money for having these kids. It might be a lot of incentives to...
You think so?
I don't know. But, it would be unfair to assume that they're just everything's working out and they're just having these kids and everything's like jolly without any external help.
I'm not sure. I don't think they would get incentives. Like,
why do you think that?
I'd be surprised because I'm not talking about just places in Africa, but
yeah,
the trend is that in developing areas, it seems to be that the birth rates, the fertility rates are higher for a multitude of reasons. And for me, it's, once again, I haven't checked this, but I can't see why a government of a developing country would provide financial incentive for people to have children.
I could.
Really?
Yeah, because it's a developing country. Wouldn't you want to catch up?
I don't know. I'm way too uneducated to have an input on this.
Me too, but we're just talking shit.
Yeah.
We're just catching up.
The questions that we answered before, I used AI to look it up. So actually, I wanted to bring it up. Like, what are your thoughts on AI?
I've used AI once in my life, only once.
Dude, that's crazy. I use it every single day.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I think have I told you the one time? I think I did, but you might have forgot.
The one time you used it?
Yeah.
No.
The one and only time I used AI.
Yeah.
Was to figure out a name for our volleyball team.
Was it successful?
Yeah. Did you like it? The one that we had this season, past season.
I thought it was pretty good.
Yeah, I thought it was pretty good too. It was catchy. It was a little pop culture reference.
So you don't use AI at all?
Not at all. But you know what's funny? So I watched some local volleyball, like where we play volleyball. A lot of people record their games. Sometimes we record our games too and like post them on YouTube. I'll make this quick. Post them on YouTube. And, so I watch some of those games and then I'll get recommended local volleyball videos of other teams that have like filmed their games in the place that we play. And so the new season started recently. And so we're not playing in this season. But I saw another team has our exact name.
Really?
Yeah. So those motherfuckers definitely used ChatGPT as well, because I use ChatGPT for this name and it's the exact same name. They must have used ChatGPT for this name too.
100%.
Yeah. It's the exact same name that we had before. Yeah.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
Oh,
but anyways, you're talking about AI.
Yeah, no, I use it every day.
I don't use it at all.
Is there a reason?
Is there a reason? I mean, thinking back, I remember a couple summers ago, we were at the first time I came into contact with AI. I remember we were at, coincidentally, the party house that we've talked about a couple times. One of our friends had ChatGPT on his phone and we were like asking a bunch of questions to it and stuff. Yeah, at that point I was just like, this thing is stupid as fuck. Not AI. I was like, ChatGPT, like this thing that you're trying to quote unquote communicate with. Of course, you're not actually communicating with, because AI doesn't understand communication, doesn't actually understand anything. Don't be fooled. AI cannot think. It's just parsing the internet or its database for whatever it has and putting those strings together and shitting out some bullshit that is most accurate to whatever your prompt is. So yeah, anyways, when I first saw ChatGPT, I was like, okay, it's like Google, you know?
Yeah.
You ask something and then it gives you something. So it didn't catch my eye, but it's gotten much, much bigger nowadays. And, you know, you have people building entire applications and software in Claude.
Yeah, literally.
Like Claude is like, I've heard Claude so many times in the past couple months. And I've never used Claude, but apparently you can do some crazy stuff with it. But yeah, I've never been a big user of AI. I wake up in the morning, log into my PC, and instantly end task on Microsoft Copilot.
Really?
Yeah. Do you use Copilot?
No.
Yeah, close that shit every single time. I don't use Gemini. I don't use...
Like, are you against AI?
Yeah, I am. I don't have my thoughts about this organized right now. I've argued with one of our friends about this multiple times, but yeah, I'm not exactly a huge fan of AI, and the specific reason for it is because... Honestly, my biggest problem with it is just the name, artificial intelligence.
The name.
Yeah, because what it implies, you know, the name is artificial intelligence, so it implies some form of intelligence.
Yeah.
When that is completely disingenuous, it's completely wrong. There is no intelligence there.
Oh, I see what you mean. Okay.
Yeah, so a lot of people, I know, have been like fooled into thinking this thing thinks. But make no mistake, it does not think at all.
You don't think so?
No, it doesn't. I know so. And you know so too. It doesn't think. It doesn't have the capacity to think. It cannot think. Yeah, again, I haven't organized my thoughts about this, but maybe I will for the next episode because I have a lot to say about this.
It's so interesting because I'm also not the biggest fan of AI for a variety of reasons. The big reason for me is more the creative part, that it takes away the art of creativity in all forms of media, like music, visual arts, graphic design. I think, like, quite literally, like, graphic designs and animators are losing their jobs because of AI. And
not just them.
Yeah,
a lot of computer scientists losing their jobs because of AI.
Now they're just they're saying that they can do like legal stuff as well.
Yeah, which isn't completely insane.
Yeah, like medicine too, which I have a whole nother thought about that, because who's going to take the legal responsibility if AI makes a mistake?
What are you going to do when your AI misdiagnoses my fucking cancer? You know?
Yeah, exactly. But I think as we're in this current AI boom, eventually, whether you like it or not, I think AI is just going to continue to take over, if I'm being honest. For example, there's been lots of talks that there's AI programs or services who are able to come up with like vocals, instruments that are just as authentic. There's recent controversy that there was an AI song that topped the iTunes charts.
No way.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Do you know the song?
No, I forgot.
Okay. Good.
It sounded pretty good though.
Oh shit.
Yeah, which is a scary thing, and that's what I'm saying. Like I'm not a fan of it. We should try to avoid it, but I think it's going to be inevitable, basically.
Do you think this was like what it was like when people first got fridges, and like the Iceman lost his job and the Milkman lost his job?
Who's the Iceman?
So the Iceman. So people didn't used to have ice in their house. Before people had fridges.
So, okay, yeah.
Yeah, they had no access to ice.
Yeah.
So much like, you know, about the milkman, you know, milkman comes and drops off milk. There was also an iceman who would go around and drop off ice in the morning for people because they didn't have ice.
Okay.
Yeah. And then once fridges became a thing and freezers, milkmen lost their job and icemen lost their job. So do you think this is like a similar situation to that?
No, I think it's more so closer to like the internet when it first came out.
In what way?
And there was a lot of
with the introduction of the internet, whose jobs were affected negatively?
Oh, I guess.
Because I'm specifically looking at this from like a jobs perspective.
Oh, jobs perspective.
Yeah.
I assume a lot of jobs were lost because of the internet. I just don't know. I just can't think of any right
that's
now.
A good point. Yeah.
But there was a lot of skepticism behind the internet. But look at it now. We just blew up, and then.
So you think this is like not a similar situation
to the internet?
The fridge, internet, whatever technology that.
I think it is a similar situation.
Oh, okay. So then in that case, like, if it is a similar situation, then it's like, you know, that's just the way it goes.
That's what I'm saying. But I'm just saying that I'm not a fan of it.
Yeah. Why aren't you a fan of it? If this is truly like natural course for humanity,
Yeah.
why are you not a fan of this? Because I assume you're a fan of the fridge. I assume you're a fan of the internet.
Yeah, because I'm not the fan of the artificial aspect of it. What's the joy of the artificial component of whatever is available out there? Like nowadays, it's hard for me to distinguish what's an AI video. You know
Dude,
what I mean?
I think it's hard for a lot of people. I've seen these videos that get posted on like Reddit and stuff. So I don't use a ton of social media, but I do use Reddit. Unfortunately, every now and then I'll check for news and stuff over there. And it's like a bunch of AI videos will occasionally get upvoted, and then I'll see them in, not every time, but a lot of time I'll be like, okay, this is obviously AI. And then I look at the comments about, dude, that just reminds me. I think there's like an ongoing AI psyop going on the internet.
What's psyop?
Like, I don't know exactly what psyop means, to be honest, but I think psychological operation. I don't know. It's like coordinated agenda pushing, basically.
For what? What's the agenda about?
So what I'm talking about right now is for AI. And what I mean by a coordinated psyop is like when a video or something gets posted about AI and someone says something negative about it, I see those comments get fucking nuked.
The negative comments?
Yeah, the negative comments about AI, they get fucking nuked. And it's like super, the score or like the votes on it is like super low. And there's like a bunch of like random ass like fucking comments that only a bot could think up. It's like some stupid shit. And I'm seeing that a lot nowadays.
Is that a conspiracy theory?
Yeah, it is a conspiracy. It's my personal conspiracy theory.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't know, just like a real thing, just like something that I've been noticing. I feel like there's like a big push for AI acceptance nowadays. And in my experience, when someone like calls out AI and says like, yo, this shit's AI, don't fall for it, they get fucking nuked.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah.
Interesting. I haven't observed that.
Yeah, maybe I'm like looking at comments too much and stuff.
Wow.
I mean, I think AI is totally an inevitability. I think we are going to have it in our lives.
The biggest thing is that the reason why is because it just brings so much convenience.
And
really,
it's specifically the chatbots. You know, the AI chatbots that you talk to. I think those are here to stay. I don't know so much about the generative images and videos, stuff like that. I mean,
I think those are gonna bloom.
Actually, yeah, you're right. I mean,
especially for people like, because one argument that I saw for supporting AI is that, you know, let's say there's a person who does not have access to the resources of, for example, making a movie or having a very professional studio to make a really good record. AI is able to provide a lot of those resources. They don't need a crew. They can literally write it down through the generative AI medium, and they're able to come up with scenes in their head that otherwise they wouldn't have the opportunity to do so because they don't have those resources. So that's an argument that I saw.
Have you seen anything like that so far?
Not yet, but I feel like in the future, like pretty soon, like movies are going to be made that way.
Really?
And a lot of people will have more accessibility to be able to make these type of movies. Mm-hmm. So I think writers are at a huge advantage for this.
You know, I would push back on that a little bit because for the solo user or like solo creator part, right now, as a solo like fucking average Joe using AI to make bullshit, you have it pretty good right now. You're not seeing much of the cost of creating these kinds of things because right now you're an early adopter and you have benefits of being an early adopter. One of them being you do not see the cost, but that's not
like the cost of using AI.
Yes.
Okay.
But that is not sustainable, and that is not the future. Within like 10 years, it's going to be way more expensive to pump out like bullshit AI videos and stuff like that. Like it's definitely not going to be. You won't be able to go on like Sora AI. Is that still a thing?
Nothing that I'm gonna shut down.
Okay, well, whatever the new
it's like Seat Dance or whatever.
Yeah, whatever the new AI like video TikTok is, you for sure will not be able to go on that, make a free account, and start making like.
Oh, so you think there's going to be tiers to subscription of using?
Oh, there's going to be a lot of tiers.
Okay, yeah.
Like, I mean, just look at YouTube. YouTube was free, what, 10 years ago? Completely free.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was like, was there even a YouTube Premium back then? I mean, I know there were ads.
10 years ago, no.
Yeah, I know there were like ads.
Yeah.
But I mean, like ad blocking was like so big since then.
Yeah, I mean everything is based on subscriptions nowadays.
Exactly.
There's literally a Black Mirror episode about this, like tiers of subscription. Yeah,
I mean, it makes sense. But yeah, like this cost right now is being for like making all this stuff is being fronted by companies that are running these generative AI farms. But that's not always going to be the case. Eventually, this cost is going to be pushed onto consumers, and that's definitely going to push like the solo creators out of the market.
Okay.
In my opinion.
Yeah, that's actually that is a good argument. Funny that you mentioned AI chatbots, that it's going to stay. I'm also actually against that.
Yeah.
Because I'm not sure if you've read, but there has been a lot of incidences of what's called AI psychosis.
No, I don't know what this is.
Yeah, so essentially what it is that people who are predisposed to developing a psychotic illness like schizophrenia, when they use these AI chatbots, it seems to be that AI acts as a medium or vehicle to increase the risk of developing psychosis, primarily because AI doesn't refute or challenge your beliefs. They actually kind of reinforce whatever you're talking about. So if you're delusional, like having delusions that someone's trying to chase you, someone's trying to kill you, or maybe that you have superpowers, AI has the capability to further support these claims rather than refuting it. And it just feeds into it. They just eventually develop psychotic symptoms. And there's been more and more cases of that, which is quite scary.
Yeah, that totally makes sense to me because, correct me if I'm wrong, but psychosis is largely something that starts as like constant suspicion of something, you know,
quite common.
Yeah.
Psychosis quite literally means like breaking apart from reality. There's a lot of symptoms of psychosis. The most commonly known ones are like hallucinations and delusions. And amongst delusions is like paranoia, and the suspiciousness of it is quite common. So what you mentioned is very true. It starts off like you're kind of paranoid about everything.
Yeah.
Paranoid that people are watching you. I'm paranoid that people are trying to stalk you and everything. And I've seen or I've read that with the use of AI, this further enhances and amplifies the beliefs that the people have when they use these chatbots, which just goes bigger and bigger. And now they're like fully psychotic.
Yeah, I could totally see that being like a fast track to this like unfortunate circumstance, because these chatbots are just made to keep you it's literally like social media. The goal is not to give you what you want, it's to get you to keep going.
Exactly.
You know?
Yeah.
It's so you keep interacting, and these chatbots aren't gonna say something to like upset you. Not intentionally, at least. You know, they're a lot of confirmation bias going on in these conversations, you know, especially if you word things a certain way. Like if you're saying like, hey, XYZ, right?
Yeah.
the chatbot's gonna be like, correct.
Yeah.
You know, and then
literally.
like fucking give you some bullshit, but it's still gonna agree with you.
Yeah. Like even when I use AI and they give me some wrong answer, I'm like, yo, what the hell? That's not right. And they would reply, haha, my bad.
Yeah, like, well, what the fuck do you mean you're bad, man? Yeah, this is like part of the reason I don't go out of my way to use any AI. But like when you put something into Google, you'll always get like your fucking
Gemini now.
Yeah. You'll always get the Gemini thing. I have this one friend who, anytime we like talk about something, this has happened so many times over the past year, and it's like quite infuriating actually. Like, it's not that infuriating, it's just like annoying. But it's like we have like discourse, and he'll fucking throw something into Gemini and then like copy paste whatever Gemini said.
Like, what?
Yeah. So it's like we'll be talking about something.
Yeah.
And he disagrees with what I'm saying. So he'll put it into Google, Gemini spits out whatever answer, and he'll like screenshot that, send it to me, but like
he doesn't even put in the effort to copy and paste, but he just screenshots.
Yeah, he'll just screenshot it and like send it to me like, haha, I'm right. And on numerous occasions, I've like gone in and be like, bro, no, you're not right. Like this fucking Gemini is like linking a comment off of like a Reddit post that's incorrect.
Yeah.
Like this is just like, this is bullshit. This is not real. This is not a real answer. You can't just, and it started opening my eyes to honestly the true nature of humans and how fucking lazy and how desperate we are for confirmation. You know, because as soon as you type something in and, you know, you want to be right. Everyone wants to be right. No one really wants to be wrong. you get this confirmation, whether it's right or wrong, from this AI, and you're like, that's like amazing, you know? You feel amazing. You're like, okay, I'm right, I'm valid. Here you go. There's my answer. Nice and easy. But that's just not how it is, because these chatbots, like I said before, they're not thinking for themselves. You know, when you say something to me, I think about it, or at least I should think about it, and I give a response based on what I've thought. But these chatbots, they do not have the capacity to think. It is impossible for them to think. And let me make this very clear, it will always be impossible for these AIs to think. They are not capable of it. This is not a problem that humanity has solved. We cannot give something intelligence. If we were able to, it takes more energy than we have access to right now. That's the crux of the issue. There's no such thing as actual artificial intelligence. There's no thing in a computer that has a conscience or the capability to think. It just does not exist at all. So, with that being said, it's incredibly irresponsible to use it as a blanket source. It's totally fine to use it to dip your toes into a little topic or get started with something, but it should never, ever, ever, in the state that it's in, even close to be your, answer to anything.
Yeah, no, I agree. Like when I use it, I always try to confirm and read the actual sources that it gives me.
I mean, Gemini makes it easy. It lists you exactly where it got the bullshit from.
Yeah.
And all you have to do is click that.
Yeah, that's what
see.
I do.
Yeah.
So that way it's
But
helpful.
a lot of people don't do that, just so you know. A lot of people are just satisfied with whatever bullshit Gemini gives them.
Yeah.
And, I didn't think Gemini wasn't like the big one at the start. It was ChatGPT, right?
Yeah.
But now I feel like Gemini is probably getting there to be the big one.
They're top. It's like ChatGPT, Claude for sure. Claude's probably the biggest one right now.
Is Claude the biggest though? Because I know Claude is
Claude's huge.
I know Claude is very useful for technical things like coding.
Yeah.
But it's like the layman coding.
Oh, I guess that's true.
But everyone uses Google. And just by using Google, you're using Gemini.
Damn, that's so smart.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
I mean, when these AI chat, like when ChatGPT first became a thing, and Microsoft bought out ChatGPT.
Microsoft bought ChatGPT?
Yeah, they bought OpenAI.
They did?
They did. Didn't they?
I have no idea.
I'm pretty sure Microsoft bought OpenAI very early into.
Oh, I thought they were just their own standalone.
I mean, should I fact check this? I know they were standalone before, but I'm quite certain Microsoft bought OpenAI a couple of years ago. Started investing into this. Let me look it up real quick. Microsoft buys OpenAI. I'm pretty sure this is what happens. They haven't bought it, but they have a strategic partnership, and in 2024, Microsoft invested $14 billion into OpenAI, something like that. So Microsoft has a pretty close relationship. I don't know exactly if this is true nowadays, but I know it was true before, in the early stages of ChatGPT, and how it was perceived back then, I don't know if you remember, was just that ChatGPT was an evolution of search engines. So Bing search engine was just going to get replaced by ChatGPT. That's that's basically what Gemini is now. It got replaced. Google search is getting replaced by Gemini.
Yeah, because it's up there, like right at the top. So
yeah, every single time. So yeah, I guess when I first heard it like that, I viewed it as like pretty non-threatening, but now it's just gotten so much bigger than what it once was.
Yeah, I don't know. I have very mixed feelings about it. It's generally negative though.
Yeah, I mean, what would it take for you to have good feelings about AI?
Provide jobs.
Yeah,
stimulate the economy.
Yeah, I mean, did you see?
Creativity, which I guess. But anyways.
Yeah, I mean, it helps with productivity now, I guess, a little bit, arguably. But for example, I was reading like a week ago or something like that, a couple of days ago, that Meta had like explosive growth, had like their best quarter, Q1 2026 of all time in the company's history, or something like that. Maybe I'm a little off on these facts, but they had a very, very good quarter. And following this quarter, they are going to lay off 8,000 employees, replace them with AI.
Yeah.
So, I mean, definitely doesn't seem like it's great right now for...
It's probably going to get worse.
Yeah, it probably is going to get worse. And I have some pretty strong feelings about that, but maybe not for this episode.
Yeah, I mean, I know you did, because I remember that argument that you had. about AI and the whole term of artificial intelligence. So yeah, just wanted to see what your full thoughts were on. But
yeah, I mean, I feel like right now we're in quite an important time historically. As an individual, I've been trying to take my life and my actions seriously at this time because I think people in our age group don't realize how impactful our decisions are right now in the day to day. Because, you know, kids are constantly told that they're the future. But when you get to our age, you're kind of in a middle zone where you're not told that anymore. But the fact of the matter is, we are the working force of the world, our age group. We are the driving force of the world. The people in our age group, they are the engineers of the world. They're the doctors of the world. They're the lawyers of the world. They're the scientists of the world. It's people in our age group that are driving the world forward right now. And it is the decisions that we make that are going to be shaping our future. It's our time right now. And yeah, I think people just need to think more about that. Yeah.
damn, I like that actually.
Yeah, thanks. Maybe it's because, you know, I'm so confident now. I can say what I want. Yeah.
There you go. There you go.
Yep.
Well, this went a little bit longer than our usual, but
Already again?
yeah,
Damn, maybe we gotta lengthen these episode times.
time zooms by. You know
Yeah,
what
it
I'm
does.
saying?
Hope you guys are enjoying listening to us. We so for the past 2 episodes, we got these new mics, trying them out.
Yeah.
Everyone say thanks to Cohen for getting these 2 new mics, and let us know if you feel like it, how you feel about these new mics. And also, I just wanted to say, you know, if you first of all, thank you so much for listening. We're just 2 guys in Canada, 2 friends, having fun talking and recording and documenting what we do. But if you feel some type of way about the stuff we're talking about, please, you know, leave a comment. We'd love to hear what you have to say, and maybe we'll even not maybe we probably will talk about it if you have something to say. So yeah, that would be awesome.
Yeah.
And you know, I was thinking about it recently, thinking about it in my closet today just before coming over here. Exactly what, because before I had a reason for this, but I think I forgot about it. And I was thinking about exactly what I wanted out of this podcast. And it's not like it's like some big thing. For me personally, I think it would be wonderful if I could. You know, I've been going through so many changes in my life lately, and it feels so awesome and freeing and wonderful. And if I could affect someone else's life and push them to maybe take some risks that they normally wouldn't, maybe, you know, try some different things out with their friends and their families, and that would be great. And if you have some experiences to share, I would love to hear about that too.
No, I agree. I set up this like through our distributor, this like fan mail option.
I saw that. It's on all our episodes now.
I don't even think that's relevant because on Spotify you can comment now. I think
You can.
actually I don't know. Whatever. But anyways, but no, I agree. I think anything that the audience wants to let us know, we can talk about. We can try to address. But thank you for tuning in, and we will hopefully see you the next episode.
Thank you very much for listening. This was Catch Up with Kai and Cohen.